Good afternoon, Simpler Futures. Tuesday, December 27th, post-market review and plan for looking ahead into the rest of this short week with exchange holiday yesterday, and going to be next Monday too. Got next Monday off as well. So we're just wrapping up the year right now. One is welcome to the Santa rally that, according to the Stock Traders Almanac, was to start today. Problem with that is the S&Ps were down a little bit, not much, 1/3%, but so certainly if that's any indication, then we're not starting off on exactly a very strong footing for this week. And with that too, it's a short week. So here's the deal. The start, we'll call it, let's do 70. I mean, that was the settlement of the last session late last week. So last week's settlement was at 70. Now this week opened last night with a little gap, but it settled right back down by the bell this morning. So over under 70, there's a EOQ, settle print right there as well. Big, and I doubt it, but we'll go big bull target, 39.70. Bear target, 37.75. Okay, on the week. Now, problem with that is this. The options chain has a big whopping 55, maybe even 60 points left in it for the week. And you can't get to either of the numbers I just gave you with plus or minus 55. So very low implied volatility, very low in terms of range with the expected move. I don't expect much. I really don't. I already told you late last week what I do expect, and that is essentially that that this thing goes out where I gave you on those 38. 35s or so right in there in the SPX, which is 60 in the ES. That same 35 print in the SPX is actually 60 in the ES. So how do we get to between, from here into, say, end of the week and, anything that may catch a bid that kind of gets sold, back down. In other words, like if higher, then my mindset is I'll be stalking short, essentially, right? So I've got an HVN just above up here at 39.05, and that EOQ print that we know about that's there at 12, that's been a huge level since May, literally since May of this year. That's been a big level, right? That'd be the first place. Like, I'd be looking on bids into 05 and 12. I'd be looking for any reason, anything that started to signal kind of a short, that I'm interested in selling it back down to 38.60. Now, on a break, I'd be looking for it to break 2, but I'd be really ready for a bounce down here. 38.20 would certainly be a spot you'd have to be ready for a bounce. 38.05, that spot's been bouncy, really, really bouncy. So I say, break to 05, but it would surprise me if it were able to get through there much. If it does, then the target, 37.75. We picked that up from the quants, right? So the big bear target down there is 37.75. Thing is, though, you got to get through 38.05 to get there, and I'll believe it when I see it. So I'd be looking to sell rallies into this 05.12 for back to 60, and then I'd be happy for it to be breaking, but I would not be looking for a lot of huge follow-through. In fact, find ways to be short, fine, down into like 05, but then you've got to get ready here you just got to be ready. Anything even on a 5-minute candle shows, a low for the move on buying type of a doji hammer type of a setup or something like that. That's it. And you got to be ready to see it bounce back to 60, So not looking for a lot. I can't find a single reason to really expect to give, a clue that tells me to look for a lot into the end of the week. In fact, it looks like just, range-bound kind of trade is the clue that I see. There'll be some tax loss selling. And so that, to me, would, be soft. I mean, that would present some, kind of softness here. But there's folks out there, and I know a lot of them, that'll be looking to pick up on some of those lows that are being, made by folks that are looking to dump the losers into the, before the end of the year. So, look at things like, Roku and Overstock. These things have just been absolutely devastated. Just PayPal. My goodness gracious! I mean, there is some, there's some potential for some tax loss selling. But at the same token, there'll be people out there waiting to buy to scoop up the dips too. So that's what I got. It's all roads lead to where we are. Look at last week. Last week's point of control was here at about 50. With end of week point of control at 60, the weekly pivot at 60, the settlements at 70, and we go out today at 60. So you see what's going on. I mean, we're just, it's in balance, and you just got to have a reason to do something. And right now the volume's low, and I'll be ready for whatever we see that presents itself, but the anticipation is range-bound, choppy sort of stuff, sideways. So anyway, that's what I got. Be good, take care, good trading. I'll see you again, I think, Friday night videos this week.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency. It's one of the things that won me